What do you look for in a laundromat? Again, if you've purchased quite a few and you've been in the business a long time. What factors make a good laundromat for purchase?
Of course, everybody will say demographics, but also your competition within the market, I would say,
Mhm.
because in Kokomo, when I first got there, there were 12 laundromats, and I believe there's only seven of them today. And that was because a lot of the laundromats that went out of business or decided to close down were mainly top load. And so when you find the location, I guess the state of your competition is one of the things I look at.
Mhm.
And I don't consider myself like a big powerhouse. It's just I'm able to work on my stuff. As if I have the parts on hand, I can keep my stuff operational. And then I've looked at buildings to convert, and it just wasn't going to make sense with some of getting the right size utilities put in place. And in Kokomo, it's where I acquired two of my nearest competitors, or two
Mhm.
competitors, which was Paul and Wade. And it was so much cheaper to acquire them and then renovate it slowly
Yeah.
versus, finding a building that you have to totally gut. And but
Mhm.
then there's some operators that they don't want other people's headaches or neglect. But then again, some of them they may be the hands-on owners or they may be owner investors. And
Mhm.
if they're gonna have just money tied up in it anyways, they might, spend the money because whether it's borrowed or their own cash. But when it's
Mhm.
owner occupied or when it's owner operated, I think sometimes it's best too when you buy off somebody because they may have taken better care of it versus somebody that had a manager just let things go downhill. Um,
Right.
and it's, every market's different. Kokomo, I believe the last I looked to have information to present was like, Howard County has like 80,000 people.
Mhm.
That's not super large, but when you compare it to Miami County and Cass County, where Peru's in Miami County and Cass County is where Logansport's at, there's
Yeah.
quite a difference in populations. So me acquiring Wade's store for what I paid for the business and what I have my purchase price, it wouldn't make sense to build a new store. The building alone would probably cost you let's I don't know, $100 a square foot, so $300,000.
Mhm.
But I also, since I'm a numbers guy, look at the property tax difference between an existing for 40 years and a brand
Right.
new build. That has happened in Logansport, and my competitor is paying like 9,000 a year in property taxes. And
Mhm.
then the building I rent, it's like 2 grand, and the building I own is like 2 grand a year.
That
So
makes all the difference.
it
Yeah.
does. And it's
Mhm.
like, so I guess I went off topic a little bit, but knowledge is key in a lot of things. And you can
Mhm.
always say you have $2 million to build something. What you
Yeah.
could build today versus 10 years ago has drastically changed the cost of equipment and the cost to build your building. But then when you go to spend that today, you have to turn a lot of quarters or do a lot of revenue to make it worthwhile. Yes.
Mhm.
Everybody's I guess how much somebody else can spend to get into the business is different than somebody that's, leaving a factory job and only has 100 grand to invest. They might be able to buy an existing store
Mhm.
and that is perfect for them. But other store owners don't want that small opportunity. But I think the smaller opportunities have been better for a lot of the small guys in the industry. And
Mhm.
having six, I still don't consider myself a big operator, but I have friends that can say otherwise if they only have one or two. But their
Mhm.
two stores could be 10,000 square feet combined and have
Mhm.
more pieces of equipment within them than what my six have.
It's how you look
And
at it, sure. Yeah.
yes, and everybody's opportunity. Hey, I bought it for 700,000, and I'm thinking that's crazy. But then again, they can do $1 million a year uh, gross in that one location or two locations. So I think
Mhm.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.